Nottingham Trent University, working with you. Proud sponsors of Working Week.
On Working Week today,
we've got advice on how to get a job, Des, from a Nottingham company that's looking to take people on.
We've grown significantly. We really are one of the leading employers in Nottingham now.
When I first started, it's not like having a degree or anything. You know, I've been at sixth form, been in retail, started here. They gave me a lot of support, a lot of training, a lot of tools to actually start doing my job. And I said, you know, I progressed when I wanted to progress. So no, really would recommend it.
And the young man making chocolate in his back room. It's a growing business.
In Clifton, I've actually got some here, but we can't eat it yet. We'll have to wait until we've run the piece.
I just love about its flexibility. Once you understand chocolate, you can put so many different flavours with chocolate. You can adapt it, change its colour, put transfers on it to make it look a different pattern. There's a lot of stuff to love about chocolate.
And I think you might want to do this one, Des.
I will get you. Yeah.
That's right, it's a martial arts expert from Nottingham who's making a living in films all over the world.
My career involves like teaching, but I started off doing celebrities. Once you got one celebrity to train with, it built up other people as well. So that brought in more money and more publicity.
And it always happens when we come into Clumber Street. Des has spotted some of his fans, which leaves me to introduce the first item, which is about a Nottingham company that's creating jobs and taking on people and has now produced a set of tips for people if you're looking to find a job. Domestic in General is a firm that already employs 800 people and is looking for more, with vacancies for at least another 100. So what does their ideal candidate look like?
We're looking for somebody who can come along, deliver great customer service, enjoys working in a sales environment, who enjoys maybe sort of contact centre. Although that experience is not actually essential to us, we offer great training and support.
Are those kind of skills available here in Nottingham then?
They really are. We've recruited some great people over the years.
The company handles calls connected to warranties. Some of the biggest names in industry are customers. If your washing machine breaks down, these are the people who may well be answering your call. And the firm based in Wollerton Street is a big recruiter in the local jobs market.
I worked in retail for a year, just after leaving sixth form, and then just started working here. I was on the phone for 4 years, and then being a team leader now for about 4 years as well.
And are you both from Nottingham?
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
And how long have you been here then, Kai?
Not quite as long as Rebecca, unfortunately. I've been here 3.5 years, just approaching 4. I started originally as an agent on the phone, and then again I progressed throughout the ranks, and now I'm a team leader and I have my own team. I have a lot more responsibility now when I come to work. I enjoy it.
In a fast-growing company like this, people who join on the shop floor can rise quickly through the ranks.
It's really interesting. Under the old owners, it was quite difficult to see where it was going, but there's now under Expect More, and there's new incentives going on all the time, and like I said, they brought a new ethos to what we're trying to do.
And Sophia, do you kind of feel that, the company grows, so you grow as well?
Yes, definitely. You get lots of new opportunities, whether that be moving around the business, getting new training opportunities. You definitely grow as an individual. You're learning every day, really. So yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
So how do you get a job at somewhere like this? Well, nowadays, companies are looking at your online presence. Social media like Facebook and Twitter can work for you or against you.
Okay. And we'll see what comes in.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Mark Watson is the head of online recruitment at Domestic in General, and he's got some top tips.
Get yourself a LinkedIn profile, make sure that's up to date, get a good professional photo on there as well. You want to be found by recruiters and to be working in that professional space, so LinkedIn's a good place to start. If you're looking for a job, say in fashion or design or photography, even things like Instagram's a great platform to talk about that kind of stuff and showcase what you're up to, and even send a link out to your Instagram and your application. Twitter's great for engaging with industry experts or with companies you're looking to apply for. A lot of companies now have Facebook and Twitter pages and LinkedIn pages, so be following them, engaging with them. It obviously shows you're keen to work for them, but also you get their honest opinion when you follow someone's Facebook page, as you say would go on their corporate careers site.
Well, we were so enjoying ourselves. We were chatting away to your fans there. We forgot to introduce ourselves. I'm Rob Pitton.
And I am Des Coleman.
Better late than never. What did you make of that last piece, though?
Great piece on jobs, wasn't it?
Yeah, interesting. And we thought, what's the general picture right across Nottingham on the job scene? So we caught up with Andrew Madeley from the Nottingham Job Centre.
I think what we'll need to do is put a link on here that takes you straight over to that website.
Andrew Madeley's leading the Nottingham Jobs Hub, a unique scheme being tried out in the city which sees civil servants and local council officers working side by side to tackle unemployment. Here, the skills of people used to finding work, providing training and encouraging companies in the city to grow have been brought together under one roof to help job seekers. It'll mean a new look for those looking for work too. Some traditional job centres like the one on Canal Street are closing, with a giant new centre opening up inside the City Council's offices at Loxley House on Station Street.
What it means is that we can pool a lot of the resources and support that's available for both organisations together to make it easier for employers. And this can take forms of different ways, such as grants. We've got something called the Nottingham Jobs Fund, which is £2,500 to support an employer with recruiting local people, through to apprenticeships. We've got a Nottingham Apprenticeship Grant. We've got graduate grants, so there's quite a lot of money available to support employers with recruiting locally, yeah.
But if you're looking for work, is this going to help you then?
Absolutely, yeah. What we've done is put a lot of the vacancies and apprenticeships that we've got on offer, and we've put them onto our own local website, which is nottinghamjobs.com. So it is very much focused for the local area, local jobs, local apprenticeships, all for the local area. And we've also got an app as well, so anyone with smartphones can download the app, go on there and look at what's happening locally in the area.
The next big event is the Nottingham Jobs Fair, which attracts thousands of people. We visited last year and saw employers offering jobs from as far away as New Zealand, and this year's looks to be equally big.
8th of September, we've got the largest jobs fair in the East Midlands. We've got over 100 exhibitors going to be there. We're expecting about 3,000 to 4,000 people to come through the door on the day. 8th of September at the Capital FM Arena, the Ice Stadium as it used to be known. That's the place to be, definitely.
Okay, so we've got different sites around Nottingham. We've got our Bulwell site, our Ilkeston site.
Here on Working Week, we've seen the growth of cafes and restaurants providing big employment opportunities in Nottingham, but other sectors are growing too.
Well, there's quite a lot happening around construction still. What we've got in Nottingham is a partnership between Nottingham City Council and the Construction Industry Training Board, CITB, and DWP is one of the many partners involved in this, where we're looking at the construction industry as a whole and trying to support local employers being able to bid for more work, but also local people trying to get back into the construction sector after the economic downturn. So bring both parties together to try and bridge that gap and make sure that the construction industry has the right amount of people who want to work in construction.
And you mentioned that in here, you've got the Department for Work and Pensions and Nottingham City Council working together. How unusual is that?
It's very unusual to work in this manner. What we've got is the employee engagement part of the business from both organisations working jointly together. As far as we're aware, this is the only one nationally that's actually running. We've had a few visitors from DWP nationally come down to see what we're actually doing, and it's really working really well for us at the moment, so we're really pleased with the progress so far.
Do you reckon we could see this rolled out across the country?
I'd like to say yes, but it's a case of watch this space, see what happens. But it certainly is working really well. It's co-location is the way we're heading nationally anyway, so it just sort of takes the next step from being co-location to integration.
Andrew Madeley from the Nottingham Jobs Centre there, and now the time you've been waiting for,
Yeah.
Des. This is the chocolate. Do you want to open that?
I will open it, mate. Yeah,
and I'll introduce this next piece and we can try it while you're doing that. This is a Clifton man who's got his own company making chocolates. He does it at home, but he's selling them all over the city and he's got big plans to sell them. Hang on a second.
Chocolate is an aphrodisiac.
Oh, no!
What are you throwing it away for? Go on, have a bit of chocolate, mate. Go on. Bit of an aphrodisiac. How do you feel? How do I look? Do you fancy me?
No, still look bad. I need another bar.
Go on, come on.
Here's the report.
So what we're going to be making today, Ashley?
Today we've got some milk chocolate fruit and nut, which is the favourite of most people that buy the chocolate. About 2/3 onto the slab. And this is what we're just going to temper the chocolate. And then we'll just put this inside.
And how long have you been working with chocolate?
I've only been working with chocolate for about 3-4 months. Not very long, since I set the cocoa pod up. But I've always had some sort of knowledge of working with chocolate. I've just kind of expanded that knowledge as I've been working with it, doing this little business venture I'm doing at the minute.
Ashley Rolfe started his own chocolate bar company, the Cocoa Pod, just over 3 months ago.
And what's proving really popular?
I'd say these the weird flavours, I call them, as people don't know about them as such. So like the Japanese maca green tea powder bar, the mango and pink peppercorn bar, and then just the classics like vanilla white chocolate, which is a massive favourite of a lot of people, milk, fruit and nut, which we're doing now.
So is it about getting there?
Yeah, it's just about done. We're going to probe it. It's going to go straight back into that bowl in a second. The next step is to place the crystallized chocolate back into the warm chocolate. So just go ahead and do that.
It's all very scientific.
It is.
It's like a laboratory.
You think it's dead easy. You think you just melt something down and then chuck it in a mould and then that's it, but it's a lot harder than that. Once this goes in here, what happens is now there's both bad crystals and good crystals. That hot chocolate will destroy the bad crystals and keep the good crystals so that the chocolate sets perfectly and there's no bloom on the chocolate whatsoever.
This is great.
Very nice, yeah.
Coming up in the second half of the show,
We'll be finding out what the Nottingham Building Society is doing to keep its staff on target. Ho ho.
We're having fun out here in the car park, playing a little bit of archery, just to get a little competition between the teams this morning, so good fun so far.
we've seen them all over the place, but our business is making enough of Robin Hood.
It stands for credibility, fairness, social justice, all the things which firms like to think will rub off on their particular company.
And we've got Nottingham's Kung Fu man who's got a reputation all over the world. That's great, do that again.
You like that? You just need the sound effect now.
Jackie Chan is a personal friend of mine on the network and we talk and stuff, and hopefully I'm hoping to secure a main role or a small role even in one of his films.
Nottingham Trent University, proud sponsors of Working Week. Nottingham Trent University, proud sponsors of Working Week.
Welcome back to an absolutely crowded Clumber Street.
Absolutely packed, isn't it? And in this half we'll be finding out what the Nottingham Building Society does to keep its staff entertained in its car park.
It means that we can have fun working hard and we're playing hard as well.
We've had touch tennis before now, we've had Office Olympics. The competition started and I'm going to be useless, but I'll give it a good go.
And talking of businesses, are we doing enough of the...
What was that?
That's Robin Hood.
Oh, bow and arrows, yeah. Oh, we make enough of the Robin Hood image.
It goes right down to Australia, across to America, in some really, really obscure places.
Love to see you now.
What he meant to say. Remember those martial arts films? We met up with a bunch of martial arts experts, all based in Bulwell.
Hi-ya!
We produce several world champions. My own son's a two-time world champion in kickboxing. He's also a world champion in Korean patterns and Japanese kata.
And we'll have a word with the busker in a moment, we hope, but first, let's take a look at the Nottingham Building Society, Des, massive institution here in Nottingham, and it's found an unusual way of keeping its staff entertained.
So we've got that fletch facing towards me, and then we'll shoot off of this line.
It's one of our biggest employers and most famous companies, and the staff here might well be looking after your mortgage. Yet here they are playing archery in the car park, the Nottingham Building Society's officers HQ. The idea is to highlight the company's involvement in the sports aid charity and to let staff enjoy themselves.
First of all, this is a lot of fun. It's getting everybody out. I think actually there's more competition than you'd imagine across the head office, and importantly, it's doing some good. So it's we've got one of our sports aid athletes here, a couple of our sports aid athletes here, and it's getting people interested in sports aid who we are sponsoring.
Now you might expect this guy to be good at this. The company's mascot decided to have a go, but for the rest of the team, it's all about taking part.
It's really important. All the people playing behind me are coming from my teams that I manage. We have a little bit of healthy competition across the teams. Obviously customers are our main priority, but the engagement for the staff and the satisfaction of the staff helps to make sure that we fulfil that need to our customers, so it's really important.
That's it, yeah.
The Nottingham is supporting around 2,000 athletes a year through its links with sports aid, with many of them from the local area. It's keen to stress that it's still a mutual building society and not a high street bank.
I've joined the Nottingham from one of the high street banks, and what struck me is the gulf in how engaged we are with our community. And it seems to be at the essence of what the Nottingham's all about. It's across all the branches, the whole business is involved in this, and we're constantly involved in local events, local charities, as well as things like sports aid.
Today's practice is also a warm-up for a much bigger event when the Building Society hosts the National Archery Championships, which will be held here in Nottingham. Some of today's competitors are unlikely to make it through to that, but they still enjoyed themselves.
As well as the fundraising that we do for sports aids, it's also good for team morale to make sure a little healthy competitions are always there.
Meanwhile, the Society is reporting strong figures. Its half-yearly profit was almost £10 million, and it's also opened 4 new offices in the last 6 months, including one as far away as St Albans.
I don't know if you spotted that, but they have Robin Hood in their logo. They certainly are a business that makes the most of him.
Yeah, but one question is the rest of Nottingham making quite as much of the famous outlaw? We've been finding out. Well, the famous statue of Robin Hood is covered in scaffolding, and there's a team from Nottingham Trent University taking a mould of it, and that's because they're going to cast a completely new statue which will be taken to the University of Nottingham's campus at Ningbo in China. Now that's a sign of just how strong the power of the Robin Hood legend is, but what does it mean to us in the city, and can we make any money out of it, and are we doing enough anyway? Well, Bob White has done a survey of local businesses to get their attitude, and Bob, what did you find first of all?
Well, people were very aware that the Robin Hood thing was underused. They were very keen that businesses in particular could use it because it's not just a tourism thing, it's got a lot of applications. So they got a lot of good suggestions. There's a little bit of wariness, cautiousness, because some people don't always fit comfortably with it, and you have to appreciate that. If you're a 21st century business, a guy in tights might not be exactly what you want as your image, but on the whole there's a lot then, and of course it's the expectations when people come here, and there's very little for the statue here to be seen, and this is 63 years old.
But isn't that an argument against using it, because there's kind of, you might let people down, you know, there's got to be substance to a promise, and you know, there is only the statue. Sherwood Forest is tiny, particularly if you're an American, you know, people might come here and be disappointed.
Well, it is in some, but the thing that we're very bad at is showing what's probably the greatest history of the legend of all, which is how it's been the popular culture. It's really an icon of popular culture, and you can follow it all the way through from the old sort of pagan green man medieval things right through to the latest Hollywood movie. That gives you an awful, you know, long and terrific expanse of things to exploit.
Now, all right, so good for the tourist industry, but you know, can wider businesses make use of that legend?
Yeah, a lot of businesses have used it to their advantage, because if they've had it in their title, or even if it's been something associated with it. We had lots of examples that we were sent from people who'd gone abroad, and that had been the thing that had opened the conversation for them. It had sort of put them that little bit ahead of their competitors. And of course it stands for credibility, fairness, social justice, all the things which firms like to think will rub off on their particular company.
So what should we be doing now then to make the most of it?
Well, we should be looking at the opportunities under that type of umbrella. We should definitely be looking at having a specific attraction which sort of tells those elements of the story. And at every opportunity we should make the most of it. But it's a question of getting it in balance, because, you know, it is something which can get a bit Disney-fied, which doesn't always fit, can be a bit tacky and seasidey. So it's a question of always watching it and getting the best out of it, and knowing when to back off when it's perhaps not the best thing to do.
Now, we promised we'd have a word with our busker. It's Sam. How are you, Sam?
I'm doing great, yeah.
How long have you been playing for, mate?
A good 15 years now, maybe. Yeah.
And this Clumber Street a good spot for this?
A good spot, yeah. I think they say it's one of the busiest streets in Europe, yeah.
And coming up next stage, remember that guy that stopped us in the street round the corner?
Yeah. The 2 kids he had wanted a photo.
That's right, yeah.
Do you want a photo, mate? Pop inside. Here, go on.
There you go.
Take another one.
Well, he was Clive Mckenzie. Do you remember his story?
Yeah, he was a martial arts expert.
That's right, works all over the world, works with the likes of Jackie Chan. And he taught me this great trick. You ready? Here's Clive's story. In a corner of the Henry Mellish gym in Bulwell, 3 of the world's leading martial arts experts are training. Leading the session is Clive Mckenzie, who spent a lifetime in the sport.
I started off when I was age 15, about 1975. I wanted to get into some kind of training. And of course, this Bruce Lee fan, Enter the Dragon, kicked off, and I sneaked in to watch Enter the Dragon. After seeing Bruce Lee on the big screen, I thought, I've got to do that.
Clive's built a career as a martial arts trainer. He's also been in movies and appears regularly in martial arts magazines.
My career involves, first of all, teaching the Raw Jeet Kune Do and martial arts. But I started off doing like celebrities. Once you got one celebrity to train with, it built up other people as well. So that brought in more money and more publicity.
Now Clive's about to get his big break, working with one of the biggest film stars in the world.
Jackie Chan is a friend of mine on a social network. I can't say what it is, 'cause I don't want people bugging him. Jackie Chan is a personal friend of mine on the network, and we talk and stuff. And hopefully, I'm hoping to secure a main role, or a small role even, in one of his films. But it's all at the like key talking stages at the moment, no contract yet.
And when he's not getting involved in fights, Clive has a surprising second job as a customer services manager with John Lewis.
When I got took on at John Lewis as customer service manager, it's because I'm a people person. I get along with people, and people warm to me easily, so they saw that in me, and that's why they gave me that role. That also crosses over into martial arts because you're dealing with people all the time.
Clive's been enrolled in the Martial Arts Hall of Fame, but you might have noticed the 2 people fighting behind him are quite useful too. He's not the only one at the Bulwell gym with a worldwide reputation.
Martial arts I've been teaching full-time for the last 23 years. We've got clubs scattered all over at Nottingham, Mansfield here. We produce several world champions. My own son's a 2-time world champion in kickboxing. He's also a world champion in Korean patterns and Japanese kata.
It turns out to be something we're rather good at in knots, but why is that the case? Well, Phil has his own theory.
Tough mining villages, things like that. I don't know how people want to go out and look after themselves and start taking a martial art up. It's very popular, in particular where I live, around Mansfield, Kirkby, Sutton and Ashfield, all that area is very popular. There's lots of different styles and different clubs there. And of course, with that quantity, you're going to get 1 or 2 big world champions and things.
Well, funny enough, Phil mentioned people doing karate in pit villages, and I come from a North Notts pit village. I'm just looking at Phil over there nervously. And yeah, I did a bit of karate in the dim and distant past, but Clive is going to show me how they do it in the movies. I've always wondered, Clive, you know, how they actually make it look like they're having a fight. So give us a few tips.
To make it look real, a bit of realism, they use everything wide, so you have to emphasise everything. So if you're throwing a punch, you don't just do a little punch, you have to throw it wide. So for instance, if I was coming to punch your face, I have to make it really wide over the face. If I come back at you, you put it on like that to block it, and punch, yeah. And it's basically like that, but as you can see, there's a gap there, but you won't see it on camera, yeah. So we do that same again.
Okay, right.
Get ready, Rob, and I come round and I swing round, come back.
Hey, that wasn't bad, was it?
Oh.
Mate, I bet you still got the bruises, haven't you?
I have actually. That really, really hurt. That was great though. What a fantastic bunch of people. I really enjoyed that.
It's always good meeting people. It's always good meeting people.
Well, we meet some amazing people, don't we? Join us next time for another insight into the working week here in Nottingham.
Nottingham Trent University, working with you. Proud sponsors of Working Week.